Hello, everybody. Jess Lohse with another weekly update for Structural Building Components Association, SBCA. Hopefully, the little line at the bottom got it right that time. It hears me say P as opposed to B a lot of times. But one thing that we did want to talk about, it is August 1st. So happy August, everybody. We are here. We are cruising through this year, cruising through summer. And a couple things to announce. One that I'm really excited about that we've been working on for quite a while, we are producing a framer magazine. So for all of our NFC members, people that are involved with the framing trade, we are starting to produce a magazine that will, talk to that audience, to speak to them. And a couple of that things with that is we want to hear what stories are out there. Like, what are the interesting projects? What are some challenges? What are the problems that we can help try to identify, write an article about it, share some information as we do so well with our SBCA magazine. We're trying to take that to the framers. We've not officially decided on a title yet, but you can sign up if you want to receive an actual hard copy of it. Go to our website. I think you can get there at framerscouncil.org. You can get there through sbcacomponents.com. I think there's a link in the comments. We'll try that again if it doesn't work. But definitely go looking for it. You can see it in industry news, framer news, that sort of stuff. But sign up for it. It gives us an idea how many we have to print. And the idea is to have it out in time for Framer Summit at BCMC. So BCMC time period, and really excited about that. Christine Wagner from our team has been putting a ton of work into that. Our Framer Council steering committee as well, Chris Tachi, Chris Breedlove, those guys, along with a lot of others, have been really doing some really good work with that. So look for that BCMC time period, Framer Summit time period. And speaking of which, the early bird deadline for BCMC and Framer Summit is coming up next Friday, the 9th. So end of day on Friday, you need to get your butt to the computer, sign up, do all of that. And if you do that, you're going to save a little bit of money. So I would suggest you just pause this, forget about me, go do that, register. Although come back because I've got some other things to talk about here. But it's one of those things. I'd like to see how many people we can get in there before the early bird deadline. If you're watching this the week of the 3rd, you're Monday, Tuesday, that sort of thing, exactly. You're not going to be able to see the next video and have you reminded again. So go ahead and get signed up for that. Other things that we've been talking about, financial performance survey. Molly's worked a lot on that. We've really simplified that. That is another free to participate, and you get the data back from it. So if you are wanting to understand how you stack up against other component manufacturers from across the country, that deadline is tomorrow. That is Friday the 2nd. So that's coming quick. Hopefully you see this in time and you get, if you want to participate, you're able to participate. And that'll help us, get as many submissions as we can. But I know banking relationships, that sort of stuff for, the independents, if you want to see how you stack up, talk about some things, maybe what you need to work on or how are you exceeding, other component manufacturers in certain areas. That data, without having it, you don't know exactly how you stack up. So that's a great way to do that. Another plug for probably our financial concepts training that goes along with it. If you are a little bit confused, you're a little uncertain on anything to do with financials, especially related to the component industry, the truss industry, I suggest you take that. Sharpen Group did a great job producing that for us. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about, digital QC. And this might drag into a few different things, but each month we have a report that comes out that shows how many actual inspections happen through digital QC. This month, we broke another record. It was just over 21,000 inspections in July. So that was really exciting for me to see this morning. I didn't think we were going to get to that 20,000 mark based on watching it day by day, but I think we had a couple extra ones in there. But really nice to see that, how many people are participating, the way they're using it. It is a great option for your quality control program, and we are looking to expand that. So if you are a member of SBCA, you have access to it. You just need to reach out to our staff. Shannon will get you set up, get you going with digital QC. You need a tablet, so there's a little bit of a hardware investment, but that should be pretty palatable for what it does and allows you to do a few different things. So we always get the question about quality control and all the different avenues and things that are required. So QC, whether you're doing it with digital QC or vellum paper, if you're making trusses, if you're building trusses, you need to have a QC program. You need to have a manual that is based off of this document, TPI1, that really lays that out. So if you're putting plates in wood and you're calling it a truss, you need to have some sort of a QC program. Digital QC helps with that. If you don't have access to that, then the vellum paper. Beyond that, if you build trusses for IBC projects, so commercial projects, anything like that, that adds a requirement for a third-party audit of your QC program. So sometimes we confuse that with somebody coming in and doing inspections on our behalf. That isn't necessarily what it's about. It's about auditing what the component manufacturer is doing, either with the vellum paper or digital QC. So we need to do all of that. 99% of that happens by the component manufacturer. That 1% is the auditor that comes in. They might do it in person. They might do it remote. There's Timber Products, PFS Tico, and of course, SBCRI. We have an affiliate that does that as well. So the audit is for the IBC jobs. Beyond that, and this is kind of where it gets a little bit more confusing, the cherry on top, some manufacturers that are members of SBCA want to have an in-plant, they want to have the in-plant certification in that. So that's kind of the cherry on top. A lot of our SCORE program component manufacturers do that. So as you see, it's a lot of confusion, but that's kind of that cherry on top. That's where SBCA has another staff person look at your inspections over the last quarter, and they will certify that to say, yes, you are in compliance, you're doing well, you're kind of, this is where you stack up against others. That really is to track the history, to look back. Whereas inspections are like, this is one trust, this is how we're doing it. So it's a little bit of a confusing thing. I understand it, but it is, one that you need to know if you're a component manufacturer, understand the differences and being able to articulate that to your staff, to your crew, to understand, quality is important. It's important to all of us, because if one manufacturer has bad quality, they're going to get lumped in with the same bucket as the one that has great quality down the street. And that's one of the things that we don't want component manufacturers to compete on quality. We want the quality to be top notch across the board. And that's the hopes with digital QC and all of our other, quality offerings. So with that, kind of got down a rabbit hole, but wanted to talk a little bit about that. Hopefully we can maybe edit that up, shorten it down, and give it another video to where people can help understand that, because it is a little bit confusing and we want to make sure that we articulate it well. So with that, till next week, I'm sure we'll have a lot of other things to talk about, but till then, have a great week, a great weekend, peaks up, press on, and looking forward to it. Goodbye.